got on.
Well, I just love that I just feel like I just guided my dad through setting the
Oh, that was awesome. To
voicemail
cut and
machine.
paste that URL, that was the way to go. I appreciate that. I would have tried to download and launch that thing 100 times before just cutting and pasting that URL. It would have never come to my consciousness.
You have
Never.
to wear, and you got to wear the rate.com hat too, right? Is that
This is the Rate the
Branding.
25th anniversary hat of Rate. This is the special edition. I could go with the Chicago Bears edition.
Oh, look
With
at the
the
orange.
Okay, I could go with the patch, the new cool patch version.
And they all have stickers on them still on tag.
Yeah. I could go with
Thinks
a
he's cool enough to leave this.
trial one, with the white and this kind of military one. I'd go with anything you want. I can send you a couple. I can go with just the basic trucker hat, that one. I could do them all, whatever you need.
I think that's great. How have you been?
I've been pretty good. How about you?
I'm good. I haven't seen you since the wedding, not Hannah's wedding, but
Morgan.
Didn't we see each other somewhere? I thought we saw each other once somewhere. How's your lovely bride?
she's good. She's upstairs. She just chipped a nail bad enough putting her sneakers on that requires her to go get her nails redone. So
Well,
I suspect she's speeding over to the Vietnamese nail salon right now to breathe in some of those amazing fumes. So, Scott, I'm excited to have you on this morning, and I think we first have to pay homage to Rich. So, Rich, today is October 7th, and this is book launch day. Rich, I know you didn't know, but Scott and I schemed this to be a book launch podcast, not
yeah,
a
we
Scott
did.
Stevens podcast.
I know you really didn't actually, but I appreciate that since
No, we did on the bet. We
since I
did. We did
I
some
picked
skullduggery in the background.
What makes you think we didn't have this planned? Why do you think I asked you all those questions?
because I picked a date for the podcast and got knucklehead.
But we have been
Anyway, I'm
we've
happy
been
to be on.
significantly behind the book Life is Sales by Rich Lyons, a journey into both
I
personal
think
and
I have it
business
right there.
development. What's that?
The book right there.
Oh, look at you.
It's his nose picker.
Did you?
I was going to say. Life
Scott,
is
you already
Sales.
got yours,
It has
though,
a
right?
kick-ass cover, and it has kick-ass content inside between the covers.
Scott's in there actually. You know why, TJ? Because Scott Steven, first demandware customer.
Of Lions.
Yeah. Of Lion.
Yeah.
And see, Scott Steven.
Yeah, I did
I'm
it
not
for
sure
did
why
endorsement.
at this exact moment the clouds broke and the sun is shining right down on me.
You know what? It's perfect for me because I've always considered you angelic. And so even when you drove that Mustang through the fence,
Dude,
what?
stop.
What?
Why are you bringing that up?
I just telling you how I look at you both as a businessman and a person.
And an
Very
angel.
angelic. And we all know that angels have to earn their wings, as we know from It's a Wonderful Life and Clarence, and you have done such.
I have. You want to know what's interesting is that will be this month because it was on Halloween of 2008. So this month will be 17 years ago.
Well, that was on Halloween. Oh my gosh.
It was Halloween night, yeah. I'd like to say that was the last time I was arrested, but unfortunately, that's not actually
Well, if
true.
that's not a testament for personal and spiritual growth, I don't know what is. But it takes time, as you know.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't even know where the remote is to put this shade down, so we're just gonna.
You might.
How are the boys?
I'm hoping it comes back. But anyway, yeah, my shirt is from a local shop called Summer Sessions, and it's got a beautiful lady. Let me get some shade in here.
I like her a lot.
And then it's got an old, I don't know if I can block this.
Yeah, the old car. Oh, it's got an old
Corvette
pickup truck. It's like a Ford.
Well, Scott, you're one of the few people that have actually been to the house before, and I fed you guys lamb, I think.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I'm a little heavy, so the only thing that was wrong with that meal is I could have used one or two more portions. It was that good. I remember that lamb. I remember it was so good. If people don't know on this podcast, TJ's a wonderful cook. Chef, I should say. And we had the pleasure of eating this lamb that just fell off the bone. And other than small portions, it was a huge.
It was pre-Ozempic. I was trying to do portion control.
There's
Whoa.
no such thing with me. I
Yeah.
like to experience life and meals like no other.
I feel, were you skinnier recently or what?
I was skinnier a year ago when I start. Now it's not an excuse. As Rich always says, what you have is what you intend. So I'm a good 50 pounds overweight, but a year ago is when I started injuries due to pickleball. And it's unbelievable. It's a great
Well, it's
sport.
old people injuries.
I'm way too competitive. I'm very good, but I've ripped my calf off the bone. I've ripped the abductor, that was through Padel, off
Hold
my
on.
groin.
Playing
Yeah,
pickleball?
Rich will show you pictures, a concussion, and most,
Oh, he put a hole in the wall. No, he literally
Rich
put a
will see, I
hole in the
ran into a
wall
wall. I put a hole in the wall.
playing indoor pickle
Yeah.
and
Are you
knocked
shitting
himself
me?
out.
No, it knocked me out. It knocked
The
me out. And I got
first
up.
thing he said when he came to was, "Did I win the point?"
Yeah. True story.
Wait a
And then
minute.
most recently, I ripped my tendons off the bottom of my foot that connect to my big toe and my little toe and come over the top. So that's been a little journey. So that's been about a year and a month where I was doing 200 sessions of yoga a year, and now this year I did one.
Yeah. I've never heard of anybody being injured so violently and frequently.
I say prolifically, if you'd use that word, I would appreciate it.
So you took your lobster man goalie bullshit and moved it to the pickleball court
No,
and switched your head through a wall?
I've been on the ice twice this year. Once respectfully, and once embarrassingly, just let's say embarrassingly bad.
Yeah. So for anyone that follows me and is listening to this and doesn't know Scott Stevens, I met Scott when Rich came up for the infamous back tattoo that has been talked about in our industry. And Scott, you got your first tattoo as well. And that's when everybody thought that I was a tattoo artist, because the dude doing tattoos, Brian Rutland, actually, and I share some similarities, minus
looked like
the
you were doing,
artistic talent. So I'm gonna
I'm
have to
trying to
sit
find
back
Scott
here.
I'm
knocking.
ready for my next one. I have it ready. I know what we're doing. It's just a matter of getting up there.
Why didn't you come up when Rich came up and did the arm?
I did one portion of it.
No, you didn't. You weren't here when he was
Yes,
at
I
Ruts.
was. That's when we had dinner.
The
I
lamb
came for
dinner.
half of it because I
Yeah, I
came
came for the
twice.
first half, and then he went and finished it.
So you've had dinner with me. Well, you didn't have dinner here the first time you guys came up. You had, that's right. You were here for the first part of the sleeve and you didn't come back for the second part.
Correct.
So that's when I last saw you, was when Rich did the sleeve, because that was after Morgan's wedding thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Was it that?
Yeah. You didn't
Well,
have a
he's
sleeve.
only had the sleeve completed. We figured this out for 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's
So it's
been
been a couple
married
years.
10
Yeah, it's been a couple of years. And then remember, we celebrated your birthday in Puerto Rico?
Well, that I remember, my 50th, but that was
Rich doesn't remember that, by the way, but you probably do for a number of
5 years ago.
reasons.
That was when Rich levitated at the table trying to
Yeah.
do long math for the tip.
Totally did.
Yeah.
I totally did. I can't find that picture of you.
Of what?
Knocking yourself out.
The best part of the 50th party in Dorado was Eric, my business partner, being petrified to microdose and Rich taking 3. And then Eric looking at Rich and going, if Rich can do it, I can do it. And it was the worst decision we all made that night, except for you.
Yeah.
Although I do remember being at dinner and I'm like, I think I ate too many gummies. And Scott, you looked at me and you said, you as a group ate about 8 weeks worth of gummies this afternoon.
Yeah, it's a
and
lot.
you all deserve the pain that you're going to have for the rest of the night.
Yeah. And the good news about that is I've been microdosing every day ever since.
I don't do any drugs whatsoever. I actually cut my drinking back by like 80% too. I had nice wine last night for the first time in a while.
Yeah, I haven't had a drink in 9 months or 10 months now.
What are you microdosing?
Just psilocybin.
Okay.
It's
so
great.
What's what are you doing? Like a quarter, a half how much is a microdose technically?
You know what? I actually don't know what the do you know you may not remember this. I don't know if you know how car bomb Daniel Casillo. He used to be on the Rangers, used to be on a bunch of teams, tough guy. He won 2 Stanley Cups. He has since moved into Oregon and now Colorado. He's moved into psilocybin and doing a treatment center for people who have CTE from brain injuries from hockey and other
Oh,
sports. And so I get my doses from him, and he's a sweet guy, and he's trying to do some really big stuff with maps and psilocybin and really working on reducing our reliance on the drug companies and actually dealing with the trauma, both injury and emotional trauma via plant medicines. And it's pretty cool what he's doing.
Well, that's how we did things for the first couple thousand years, right?
Yeah.
Pharmaceuticals are a relatively new invention, and they're not designed to fix anything. They're
No,
lifelong
they're
treatments.
designed to get a revenue stream. It's almost like e-commerce. You know, you get that thing in, you take the old model, you take percentage of the sale, and you want that thing to be there forever, and you
forever.
build a business on it, right? That's what the drug companies do. They get someone on the drug, they tell you should do it for life, and there's a revenue stream, and that's why those drug companies do so well.
Yeah, except that we aren't killing people in the e-com industry
No,
and
not at all.
turning them
Except we
in.
all have addiction. Shopping is an addiction. Everything's an addiction.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
The bullshit. What
Watch
are
it.
you addicted to?
I would say
I agree with that.
I would say I'm Rich would say I'm addicted to conflict and fighting more fights than I need to fight.
I'm trying to tell him, TJ, and maybe you can help, that you don't have to fight every battle. Like, you can
Yeah,
pick which one you want
I
to.
like to get in there,
He fights
rough it up.
everything. Like, if
Yeah,
you stepped on his toe, he would fight you.
I used to be that way. You should go train martial arts and learn some like actual legitimate skills and do some weapons training, and that will
I
humble
should. You're
you.
right.
That will humble you in a way that I don't even have the vocabulary to describe. Like I trained martial arts like nasty shit for I don't know, it's probably been 17 or 18 years now, and it's that it took all of that oddly enough, all of that aggression that I had and um went away. Like I just, it's
Yeah,
just
you know
not.
what Jack says? Jack's playing junior hockey and doing quite well at it, and I say, Jack, you could hit him harder and you could be more aggressive. He goes, if you take up all the anger in the house, there's none left for me. Which is true. It's the mouths of babes, right? So I'm
Yeah,
working on
my
it.
my son is a very my youngest Jack also is a very gentle, caring, honest soul. Like he'll spend his last $20 on one of his friends instead of himself, which I
Yeah,
told him was going to get him in trouble one day. But you know, I said
I'd
you
rather
got
rather them that than some of the alternatives. So God
For
bless, right?
sure. For
yeah,
sure.
yeah, time will tell. So Scott, what's your role at rate.com? Because you still running sales there, right?
Well, and I'm chief growth officer, so I like to say anything broken or anything new, I have my hands in. And we're moving from a mortgage company to a fintech, and trying to take a big swing in the well-being of really the universe when we look at it. So we looked at, we're the second largest mortgage company when you aggregate our 9 mortgage companies. We have 14 companies total, and that's mortgage. But mortgage, you do like 3 to 7 times in people's lives, and you kind of forget we're the best at it. We have the best platform, we have the best tech, we have the best salespeople, we have the best service, we have the best NPS, we have the best of everything. But we're only 3% of the marketplace, the market. So that means, I always say, that means 97 people are getting fucked in one way, shape, or form, right? And I'd like to get that to only 85 people getting fucked. So that means us going from 3 to 15. But how do you do that is you become part of people's lives. So we're trying to transition, well, we are, and we will, to a love brand through addressing more than just mortgage. So we developed this super app called the Rate app. It's free. And we looked at what the 2 major stressors, or the biggest stressors in people's lives, and it came down to 80% of the stressors in people's lives are financial or health. And so 3.5 years ago, our CEO, Victor Tridelli, had this wild dream about putting a huge dent in the universe through addressing those 2 stressors. So we developed this app where we did, on one side of the app, pre-app, you have financial fluency. And that's mortgage, it's HELOC, it's personal loans, it's insurance, it's student loans, it will be a credit card, and there's training on how to use all those and when to use those. So whatever stage of their lives, we're relevant. And on the other side, there's over 1,300 free videos from experts on personal well-being, and that's meditation. We got Deepak Chopra in there. We have gurus, we have nutrition, we have soundscapes, we have bar classes, we have yoga, we have sound bowls. Anything that you really want towards your personal well-being, we're going to address. And our goal is that and with AI, this is becoming a reality. We didn't know at the time when we started it, but it's becoming a reality with AI. You can have a personal assistant, AI personal assistant, where you can say, I want to lose 20 pounds, and then it will track what you do in the Rate app, again, all free, and these classes, and it will coach you through it. Say, oh, you did 2 this week, you need to do 1 more, or you need to do a strength class or what have you. And on the reverse side, on the right side, if you say, I want to buy a home in this area, and the average price, it'll say, oh, the average price in that area is 400,000. You need 20,000 down payment. It will track, because it's hooked up to your bank account, and say, hey, you're ready to buy a house. By the way, here's a company that can help you do it. So it's financially, I mean, it's a lead source for us, but we really want to become a relevant brand in people's lives. And I call that a love brand. And that's what I'm working on primarily.
So you're doing holistic health, like health in all areas of your life.
Yeah, we'll actually have a rating. We'll have a wellness rating. We're buying a company, Rich, that actually does this and looks at your personal, and again, it's 80% of the stressors, your personal health well-being and your financial well-being, and give you a score. So hopefully the rate score rates yourself. That's why we changed the name. Get your rating, and hopefully that will become commonplace in our society, and people will be sharing it like your credits. It's just a score of wellness. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I didn't think we were going there on this call, but I do like you plugging it. So on a serious note, because I have kids, right, who
Yeah.
are financially incompetent,
Yeah.
right? Because I mean, schools don't teach any actual real life skills when it comes to money, right? Whether it's saving it, spending it, investing it, building a life. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole other school of thought that, mortgages and payments and having a monthly VIG every month and spending beyond your means is credit ratings were a trap that was invented just to lock you down anyway. So how do you look at that? There's a whole other talk track that says that this whole credit score, monthly VIG thing and everybody living at the extreme extent of their means is actually creates the health problems because
Yeah.
they're
There's so
spending
much
beyond their
pressure.
ability.
Yeah, there's so much expectation and pressure. Here's what I know, because I study both Gen Z and I study the millennials, right? And as entitled as we think they are sometimes, and we're in good hands. We're in good hands with both those groups of people. They are extremely smart, and they are going to tend to our world possibly better than us. With that said, I think you're right that there are traps that are, I don't know if they're traps, it's just way of being that are changing in those demos. But with that said, a lot of people still want a home, right? And a lot of people still want financial fluency. So you started with it, but nobody teaches them that. And again, we're on the cusp of finishing up an acquisition of a technology that actually trains people to save and to plan and to spend in the way that they desire. And again, some of them, like we started building mortgage. We built the first digital mortgage, and we built it so we thought millennials don't want to speak to people. They want to do a mortgage and they want to do their financial transactions in the middle of the night in their underwear, and they'd like to speak to a bot, right? Not a bot, but a chat. And what we found as we continue to, even with financial, something as big as a home, it's still their biggest financial purchase in their lives. They still want some level of consultation. They want the ability to do it by themselves if they choose, but they also want the ability to talk to an expert if when they, because it's like taking up, it's like a proctology. Buying a home is like a proctology. Getting a HELOC is like a proctology. And that's, and they don't, we look at it as nothing, but we do it every day. They do it. They don't do it very often. So they need that fluency. They need they need the service of help, and they need to be taught how to look at it. So the credit rating, I don't like the credit ratings, but what is important would be for them to understand how credit rating affects their ability to do what they want in their lives. And nobody's doing that. And so we're embarking on doing that better than others via this rate app and buying technology, using AI to help us do that so we can do it in a cost-effective way and provide it to young people free. But you're
We
right.
wonder.
Nobody's teaching it. Nobody's teaching it.
No, I mean, we don't teach any of the basics. We don't really teach cooking and cleaning and basics of home ec and things like that. But finance is the center of everything now, and
And I
especially
came
with
out of I came out of graduate school with an MBA from the #1 school in the world at the time. Scott went there too. We had a year crossover at Kellogg at Northwestern, and I didn't understand cash flow.
No.
And I started my business, and I had this piece of paper, and it said, "Look, you made this much money." And I look at the bottom, and it says I have money, but then I'm like, "Well, why can't I fucking pay my employees? I'm having a hard time, literally paying salaries and making payroll." And I
And
didn't
accounts
understand it. Like they
receivable.
didn't
You didn't
even
know, you
teach
didn't
me
understand a balance sheet,
that.
accounts receivable, a P&L. Those are all hard.
Yeah, I understood that stuff, but I didn't understand cash flow. Probably the most important thing for kids too.
Yeah, for sure.
Like just understanding ins and outs. Like literally, you can have all this money here, but if you don't have cash, you can't pay your bills.
Well, and if you think about it, you talk about sin industries. They'd say I worked in some of the sin industries. A sin industry is the pharmaceuticals. A sin industry is credit cards. They expect people to charge those things up and never pay them off. And then they're caught. It's not mortgage. Mortgage, you understand. Here's a payment. Here's a big amount. Here's the interest amount. And it's a fair interest amount. People don't look at credit cards charge 28%. In my mind, that's loan sharking, right? We charge 6.5. That's responsible lending, and maybe with a HELOC, you could get up to 18%, 13%, something like that. But 28, kids have to be taught to understand it. And like Rich said, cash flow, huge. Or general ledger. Let's look at every one of your expenses and see, one, if they're correct, because so many mistakes are made. And then how does it affect your cash flow and your ability to do what you want in life? And here's the thing. I was just reading a study the other day. If your financial health is positive and in good shape, your longevity is longer. That's what they're proving.
Yeah. But don't you play a different game in the mortgage market? I mean, I don't disagree with the credit card thing. My son's got a Discovery card and I make him use it every month and pay it every month. And what he didn't know on his Discovery card was that the interest was in a different tab because he doesn't get a paper statement, right? So he saw what he had every month and he thought he was paying his balance off, but he didn't realize he had interest charges somewhere else. Don't you guys play a different game though in the mortgage industry where it's all front loaded? Whether you're buying a car or buying a house, you might be charging 6.25 or 6.5, but that's all front loaded on your payments. It's not like it's 6.5 over the term. It's 6.5 over the term, but then heavily front loaded.
Yeah, that is. That's how it's set up. Yeah, it is set up where you're not taking big chunks out of the principal at the beginning. But there's little tricks to that, like make an extra payment every year and put it towards your
Yeah.
principal.
No, I understand that, but if any loan I ever had was actually truly at 6.5%, then I'd be quite excited
No,
about it.
you're right. You're right. If you look at
But
it
they're
over the
not.
life of the loan.
Not even a car is at 6.5 flat
No,
out, right?
no,
Oh, a line of credit on my securities is a straight 618 across
no,
the
you're
board.
right. And I don't think anybody understands that, not even adults.
No. Well, my question would come down to, is it actually worth buying a house, right? How do you get somebody that does the math and pays attention, which if you're going to educate them, then you got to convince them that it actually makes sense, right? Is it actually worth, buying a house? In Portsmouth, you can't get into a home here for less than $1 million, right?
Yeah, I don't know today, but in the last 10 years, probably the last 15 years, it was certainly worth buying a house because of the appreciation. You know, if you look back in time, if you look at back over the last 100 years, the two things that had the greatest return on investment, you know, they might say Bitcoin in the next 20 years, but up to this point, it's been real estate and the stock market, you know, just dropping it in a mutual fund. But other than that, pales in comparison. Can you make that same market argument for both the stock market or real estate today? I don't know. I still think you're getting appreciation, but it certainly is high to get in. It's tough to get in.
Yeah, I mean, I have this debate with people that choose all the time, which is I think if you actually sat down in a general ledger format and projected over the last 5 and the next 5 on a 30 or 15 or 20-year mortgage, plus your insurance costs, plus your tax costs, plus your upkeep costs, I'm not sure you're really getting the appreciation.
Well,
You might
yeah, it's a
think
good
you're
point.
getting appreciation, but if you take your cost basis and your maintenance basis out of it, I think it's flat. And then the question is it worth for the next 10 years being flat, or is the feeling that you have because a home or thing, it's an interesting thing. No one's ever gotten into a deep dialogue with me on it, but I
No, but I think you're right. I think you're right. I always tell people buy the house you want to live in and one you can afford the monthly payments and forget about it as an investment. We have a
correct.
friend, Rich
Home.
and I have a
Make
friend,
a
his name is,
home, not a house. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a
exactly.
home, right.
A home, right.
You're gonna raise your children there, you're gonna live there forever.
But we have a friend who thinks just like you, TJ. His name is Tom Healy. And Tom Healy doesn't buy real estate for that reason. You know what he does? He stays in hotels. He has a hotel he comes in. Well, he has a small home in DC, but then because of the taxes, because of the insurance, because of everything else, he figured out what it costs him each night, every night to live in, to buy a home, and he chooses to stay at a higher end hotel instead. It's a pretty good concept.
Well, it's interesting because I don't. We talk about it all the time. Like I don't have other places. I have home. Like this is home. I
Yeah.
have one place, and every place else I visit. And when Shannon and I talk about it, we'll look at a place, and what I say to her is, which right, wrong, or indifferent, I go, I'm happy to go buy this place on this lake or near this ocean side, whatever. But we do trips, so I just want you to know that that's 300 trips we won't take, or that's 100 trips we
That's a
won't
good way to
take.
look at it.
Right. And by the way, that's appreciating in a portfolio. Right. So I don't know. I've actually never done the challenge myself and sat down and
Well,
kind
but
of
there's
done a
2
general
points to
ledger
that.
style.
2
What's
points
that?
to that. 1, I should be invited on some of those trips, okay? So and so should Rich. And the second point is Rich has a whole different philosophy. He's trying to buy up all the real estate around the
Pretty much.
world.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so that you can have homes everywhere, and, which goes back to my first point, which you and I should be invited to.
You guys
Yeah, but
are?
Rich was, I'll say 117, but I think the richest pro move was buying real estate in Europe when the euro and the dollar were flat against each other. He's already up 17% at a flat rate, which I think you can't go wrong
You're right.
there.
I mean, that was a lucky move, but you're absolutely right. I mean, when the dollar and the euro were equal, I mean, we haven't seen close to that. It's like you said, 117, 118. I mean, it's high. So to
Well, it's
do it
funny
at
because
that time is good.
I talked about converting and buying Swiss francs and holding Swiss francs, but Swiss francs never move
Yeah,
down. They only go up. And, again, it's probably the most stable currency in the world, in my opinion. So I pivoted and went to gold, right? Rich, you and I have had this dialogue on
Yeah.
gold, but I do wonder because I haven't done the ledger thing myself about like, what is my house? What did I pay? I don't have a mortgage. I have a beautiful home, but, what would that be? I just wonder, Scott, like, everybody's running a racket because everyone's got to make money in their business. But what is the real cost? If you've got a $500,000 house,
if you do it, you will stay in a hotel. I'm telling you, if you do, Tom has
But
done
but
it.
it's if you have a different perspective, right? Like
Right, if it's
Tom
just
doesn't have
dollars and
kids.
cents.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Tom isn't married and kids. So my perspective, Rich Lyons, right? I have daughters. I'm hoping to have grandchildren. So when I buy a house in Ireland, it's a family house forever. It's
yes,
not an investment that I'm flipping. So
yes.
no,
like you
totally.
said, Scott, like I didn't buy it because like, oh, I'm gonna flip this. I bought it because the girls love it. We all love it. Gertrude and I pictured like our kids, and they're spending time on this beach in Ireland.
Right. This is a generational estate planning thing, and I think that's the financial
Different.
altitude. Everybody flies at a different altitude, but I like
You feel
that.
the same way about Mexico, right? We have, property in Mexico. We spend a lot of time there, and you can't pay for the memories, right? Like I think, as I've gotten older, right, 60, um, you start thinking about the most precious things are your memories and the times you spend with people.
Totally.
See, I'm an old hood rat, and what I worry about, because we see it around here, is that I see the new generation of kids, right? So what am I? 70? I think I'm Gen X, right? I'm like the pre-electron. I'm like the last generation that actually like grew up without any of the bullshit. I see kids dumping family assets for money immediately, and where we are. I see somebody passes away, they want the cash for the land, right?
Yeah,
That's what I worry. That's why I'm trying to get the kids to understand, like, guys, like, there's an inheritance coming at some point, and like, I can't. You can't. You guys have to understand the value of these things, because we see it here. I mean, there's a generation that is coming into family inheritances in the area that I am. A good portion of them are dumping that stuff for cash, and then they're pissing through that cash very
well,
quickly.
that's the thing, you teach them how to responsibly spend. Like, I want my kids to spend on experience. If it was the choice between a home or experience, but spend it on experience and memories, but spend it wisely. If I could teach them that, then I've done a decent job. I mean, I stay in my home. It's a 5-bedroom home. It's a big home. I'm the only guy there. Jen's gone, right? The kids are gone. It's like, why is a widower staying in a big home?
You have a big
I stay
dog.
there. I
You have
stay
a
there.
big
I have
dog.
a big dog. I have a
He
big dog,
takes up a lot of space.
but I stay there for the memories. I'm just not ready to go yet. And I'm willing to take the financial hit associated with keeping those memories going a little longer.
Well, it's not a financial hit. It's what home defies value,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
That feeling of home is nothing to do with.
It's not just a property.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Like, this feels like you guys have been to this house here we have now. Like,
Hey,
this
you
is
cook
home.
there. You
It's
you
home.
you you have good art. It's fun.
It's
It's like
home.
You
fun.
have
Hey, by the way, I
cars
didn't tell
driving
you,
your
Rich
basement.
came over last night and we had street tacos.
Yeah, it
We
was great.
cooked street tacos.
But yeah, but you cook like a motherfucker too, don't you, though,
Yeah,
Scott?
totally.
Yeah,
Totally. It was like we were in
so
Mexico
good.
City.
So good.
It my nephew lives in the grilled meat capital of Mexico. And so he's teaching me. He comes in because he kind of got deported, his wife, blah, 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 blah. But he lives in Mexico now, and he comes in and works. And part of him staying with me is he has to teach me salsas and all this meat shit he's learning. And ask Rich, they're
It was
fucking
good.
great.
I mean, it was good.
DJ, you would get a hard on for these tacos.
This one salsa was way too hot for me. Like
Oh my
way
God,
too
you
hot.
would, TJ, you would. I'm telling you, Boner City for street taco.
Dude, I don't do tacos right now because we don't eat. I try and stay away from bread and corn products and things like that. But I've been making chimichurri. So I got a little herb garden out back. And when I stopped making basil pesto and the basil turned and flowered, or seeded, I guess is the right term, all of a sudden, all of my fucking parsley, my flat and my curly leaf parsley took off like 70s bush style. And, I've been making, that's a throwback.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's a good
We'll see who
reference.
pix that one up.
It's
So
all the eye of the beholder.
I've been making chimichurri. We eat it on fucking everything. Steak, chimichurri, fish, chimichurri, like eggs in the morning, chimichurri. So I've been making a lot of
You can't waste
chimichurri.
a
But
good basil. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You're putting pine nuts in there, and you're
No,
putting garlic.
I don't do pine nuts. So I have an allergic. I have like a super mild allergy to gin and any like pine nuts, pine related products. So I don't use pine nuts. I actually don't use anything. I do like a skinny pesto with just not skinny really, just no nuts. But I do Parmesan. I do
Yeah,
two different parms, and
I do too.
I do extra virgin olive oil. I don't
That's
do
what I
regular.
do. Yeah, and garlic, and you
Yeah,
throw
yeah,
garlic in.
garlic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all chimichurri is, although now I make the chimichurri. So I do one that's pure parsley, but I also do one that's like a third cilantro. And I also have oregano that I dried. My oregano went bonkers this year. So I'll do
It's
dried
better
oregano.
day 3, right? You're finding day 3 it's better than day 1.
Oh, everything's better day 3. Like
Yeah.
everything. Like I just made a beef stew and it's like I don't even take it off the fucking stove. I make like a 3-gallon pot and I leave it on the stove till it's gone. But everything's better the next day. Like I do Indian dishes. I do a scallop mole that I just did the other
Oh
day.
my God.
It is way better on this
A
with
mole
coconut milk.
sauce is so hard to do well.
Yeah. It's day 2, day 3, it's the best, right? So, but the chimichurri is stunning because I do everything by hand and I do it all in a mortar and pestle. So I don't use any like
Oh,
electric
that's awesome.
equipment. Well,
That's awesome.
I don't want to when you use metal blades and
Yeah, I
high
know.
speed, it actually fucks it. It like
I
fucks
know
with
the
everything.
heat fucks it up. It changes the molecular structure of the whatever you're doing.
Scott's
I
about
know.
to enter into a contest with our house manager to see who can make the best vodka. Yeah. We're having a
Vodka
Vodka what?
pasta. Vodka
Vod-
pasta.
You
vodka.
mean vodka Penne Alla Vodka?
Yeah.
Dude, I make a fucking killing it.
We got to get
Could be
TJ
great.
in it.
Fly out.
So,
It's Thursday. Fly out Thursday. The contest is on.
If TJ's in, we'll have to pick a different day.
what do you mean
Yeah.
this Thursday?
Yeah, Thursdays when we're throwing it down.
Hold on, let me see what I got. I got the dogs. I got to go to the vet. She had an ear
Well,
infection.
maybe we have another day, but it's a throwdown. And
I
then
agree
I'm
because
and
I
then
can
I'm
come
following
in
it up. I'm
cold and
following
still
up with
beat
a
you both.
flourless chocolate cake.
Did you hear what he said?
What
He
he
said
said?
he could come in cold and beat you both. He said.
There's no fucking way that you would win, that you would beat this. And Rich knows. Rich has tasted them around. He hasn't tasted yours. I'm
Okay.
telling you, this
Okay.
is one where I'm
I love it.
confidently
I love
gonna
it.
win.
So
But he
funny,
makes a good salad too, but he puts pine nuts on it, so you're not gonna like. But he does make a wicked flowers chocolate cake too.
I won't. Yeah, well, it depends on where the flour comes. So Scott,
Well, you're
we
gonna say,
haven't
I
said-
know. You're gonna do the non-enriched flour, the European flour. I understand.
No. I'm
Are you a baker? Are you a baker?
yeah, but I do English muffins and bread, and I make my own pastas and stuff like that. So
Wow.
funny story on the Penne Alla Vodka. So Shannon one time, she's like, you know what I haven't had in a long time? I'm like, no. Penne Alla Vodka, which I have to come back to Shannon and food because you'll appreciate this other story I'll tell. She's like, I haven't had Penne Alla Vodka. Now, I have no idea what the fuck Penne Alla Vodka is. Like, none. And I'm like, well, I'll make it for you this week if you want. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. She's like, if you made it? I'm like, I don't even know what it is. I assume it's just vodka and whatever. So I make a Penne Alla Vodka. So I'm on this roll where every time she wants something and I make it, we can never go anywhere and eat it again, ever.
Oh, you cannot. You cannot.
So I had
You do
never
the same
had it.
thing. I ordered everywhere. It sucks.
So I make this Penne Alla Vodka, having never had it anywhere, and she loves it, right? I don't know if it's good or bad or whatever. If I got the wife thing, right? Like, oh, honey, it's fucking perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
So then we go to a
She's been
restaurant.
doing that. I haven't understood her rose-colored glasses. That beautiful girl sees a lot of what I see, but she doesn't see everything I see. But go
It's
ahead.
okay. So we go out to a restaurant, and I get Penne Alla Vodka, and I'm like, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
She's like, can I try it? So she tries it. She's like, yeah, it's disgusting. So,
Yeah.
so I haven't made it. I don't think I've made it this year, actually, but
Well,
I'll make my own penne. So
Let's get it together.
I hope that's your elbow I see in the corner. Oh, yes, good.
That's the salsa from last night. I'm sending it off. I sealed it this
Why
morning.
is it so light?
I have no idea.
What's in it? I've never seen a brown salsa.
His nephew made it. That's
can't see it.
hot. That's hot.
This is the granddaddy of the heat cycle.
Yeah,
right here.
that looks like that would burn a hole in somebody.
Too
Oh,
hot.
this will burn a hole in even my fat ass. Right here. This will do it.
All right, so
So let's go back. Let's go back to food.
Day for the vodka pasta.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll postpone it. You'll come in.
I can actually. I would love to do that. Whose house are we
It would be
cooking at?
fun to go out there too, Rich.
You were cooking at my house, but we could.
Because I could get a second tattoo. I know what I'm getting, and
you're gonna fly private anyway, so Rich's chef can come.
yeah. Well, listen. Let's
She's
get a date.
She's our
Do
house manager. She's awesome. She's Polish.
Oh, house manager. Sorry.
So she wants. She'll be in pierogies too if you want to learn how to make pierogies.
J-Dog. We call her J-Dog.
The pierogies are too heavy. So I like very selective when I eat pastas and
But
grains.
you don't do gnocchi.
No, I fucking love, well, a proper potato gnocchi. Yeah, no, they're pillowy and they're magical. I like twice a month I'll have pasta, basically.
Yeah.
But I'll
We
usually
should do
make
a
it.
food podcast. We should make this into tea and crumpets with Rich. And
Is
I'll
your-
be the crumpet.
Wait, hold
You
on,
be the tea.
hold on. Can
You
you
be the tea, he be the Rich, I'll be the crumpets.
you can be crumpets.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that. Tea and crumpets with Rich. Crumpet Stevens.
yeah. I'll change my name. I ain't got nothing else going.
You
So-
didn't tell him that your tattoo. I mean, you didn't. I'm surprised TJ didn't jump right in on that because you.
Oh yeah, my next tattoo is
I don't
going.
need to jump in. I'm always down for a tattoo.
Yeah,
no,
I'm
you
going
didn't ask
from.
him what he wants to get though. He
I'm
already has a
getting
plan.
from here, shoulder to this shoulder, and it's gonna say, "Grinders fucking win." Yes. Yeah. And then I'm gonna do this. I heard a snort. I heard
That's
a
right.
snort.
Me, I
Rich-
couldn't even help.
Rich snorted.
Oh God, how can you not laugh at TJ just going?
No.
No.
No. We're not gonna do
No,
that.
we're not. We're not. I'm not gonna call Rut, and he's gonna like, what does he want? I'm like, well, let me lay it out for you in a fancy font first.
That's the greatest font. I use this thing. It says "breathe," right? Backwards. Right? I use that in so many meetings. I send it to people. You helped do that.
I think it's great. The
It's-
font's great. I think everything about that's great.
Yeah.
Listen, if you want to come up and get a stupid tattoo across your back, I support it.
Well, remember that little Ganesh that Rich was going to do? It was like this big.
Yeah, the
And
one he
then-
was going to put on his left shoulder blade.
Yeah.
And
My
And then when he
shoulder
left,
blade.
that thing,
My shoulder.
that
blade.
thing was at least this big.
yeah,
Remember
turned
that
into
thing?
like an elephant's
My
tramp stamp.
chiropractor's like, you should have gone bigger. There's more room there.
Yeah.
You should have done a little bit bigger.
Let's see it, Rich. Show that thing.
That's okay.
Show the wares. Show that thing.
I'll show a picture of it. You
Yeah,
know,
show
who
a picture of it.
says
for
it
God's
should be
sake.
bigger is Chad. Chad's like, you should have gone bigger. There's more room on the side.
It would have gone bigger. I got stopped. Finally got stopped.
No, you don't. You listen. You almost cried with when that thing was going on your arm, Rich. You don't want to go any bigger because once you get across to the ribs and the serratus and things like that, that's the most painful place to get a tattoo. You would have been very
Really?
disappointed. Brutal. Yeah, if you'd
I
gone
thought the
2 inches
elbow
to
was
either
tough.
side,
But maybe
No.
not. Are you showing
No.
us a picture? What are we waiting for?
I'm finding a picture.
we don't. Rich, don't fall for his bullshit.
We don't wait for anything. You got to be ready.
All right, so Scott,
I was trying
so
to
find
Penne
this
Alla Vodka, we'll do a cook-off.
Yeah.
What else is a go-to dish for you that I might be able to make?
Pot roast.
I am doing a chili that's out of this world.
Rich actually talked about your chili and how much you are proud of that.
See it?
Look at that thing. That thing's a beast.
Here,
Hey,
Yeah,
here's
Roar,
a
when we-
picture that-
Talking, so it shows up. Hold on, Rich. Show
Well,
it again
here's
and
a
then talk.
picture that we think is TJ actually doing the tattoo. Look. Remember, everyone's like, TJ's doing the tattoo. Remember?
yeah, I remember that for sure. I remember that. Look, go back and
Well,
see the
look.
beard.
Look, there's
at
like, there's
there's
picture.
not-
And look,
There's not a lot of
There's-
gray in that
TJ
beard.
TJ was actually doing your tattoo. So fun.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
What do you want to see? The beard?
The beard is a little less gray.
This
if
was
you know
right
what I'm
after.
saying.
Look at it. It's like peeling. You know, the peel.
Yeah, that thing's an animal.
I think it came out great.
So the chili's so
think-
good.
I don't
and
do chili. How
It's
about
so
English
good.
muffins? Do you make English muffins?
I don't.
I make an English muffin. I would be willing to send you a couple. That'll change your life.
I would love. How about? Do you do a nice sourdough bread? That's hard.
I do. I haven't done sourdough for a while. I didn't like feeding it. It's too much of a pain in the ass, and it's
Yeah, to get the
you waste a
starter,
lot of
it's
flour.
really tough.
Well, it's easy, but the problem is you got to constantly be using it, and we don't eat that much bread here where I can keep a starter, moving. You can only have so many pancakes and so many waffles and so many muffins and shit like that. But I do a homemade pasta. I grind my own wheat. I do the homemade English muffins.
I mean, if he's coming in with the homemade pasta for the vodka alla pasta, I mean, that might put him over the top, Scott. I don't know what you're thinking. You're not doing
Well,
homemade.
I'll have to get some.
What hold on, like, what do you put in your Penne Alla Vodka? Like, what is your, like, little special, like, do you do anything special, or you just do a straight old school Penne Alla Vodka and just,
Well, it
let
depends on what
simplicity
you would think is special.
well, I'm just curious
put
what you
butter.
do with it.
Okay,
I
so
put
now, like,
butter.
do you spice yours up, TJ, or no? Like he's got
Oh yeah,
a
absolutely.
variance of spice.
Yeah. I'm like on a scale of white guy 1 to 5. I like to do like a 3.5.
Oh, I do like a 4.5.
Yeah, but you lose the
You lose some
flavor.
of the flavor, but
Can't
you
make
know
it
what?
too hot.
You
Yeah,
no, you have to do a great bread and a great butter, because when those flavors of ripe tomatoes and that vodka that's distilled in, oh my God, and that butter and those chili peppers,
you know where we need to do the.
it's fucking sick. And then
You
did
don't
you
really
put
make a
cream in yours?
traditional Penne Alla Vodka. You make your own version of it. Do you put anything on it? Do you put peas in it? Do you put
No,
any?
no.
Really?
Did you put cream in yours?
Very, very little cream.
No, no, I put a little cream in there.
I
No,
don't know.
mine's hell. I do a hell. Mine's very clean, but I have a special magic topper that I put on it when I played it that will blow your mind.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm ready.
I think where we
What
need
else
to
do you
do
make?
it is probably in Ireland. That's where we need to have the contest.
I'm doing pizza now. Do you do I've been doing
I'm
pizzas.
just starting to look at pizza. Funny you asked that. I'm looking at stones that go on your grill for pizza.
So I didn't buy an uni. All my friends think I should, but I do grill pizza with a 12-inch stone on it. I only make 12-inch pizzas, and
Yeah.
it's a fucking, you should go on I don't know if you're on Instagram, but it's a game changer. Like I'm doing
All
tomorrow's
right. Are
pizza
you
night.
using the torch at the end? I'm using a torch to finish off the crust on the top.
I don't have to, because I let my grill get to 650, and I have a 4 burner. I put the stone in the middle. The two center burners under the stone, I keep it like 70% heat, and then I run the outside
What kind
burners
of
at
grill do you
100%.
have?
What?
What kind of grill?
I'm like a regular big Weber grill with 4 burners, four burners that run front to
Yeah.
back on it. Yeah, just a
Okay.
regular natural gas grill.
Yeah, that's what I
You
have.
should go up on my gram. I'm doing tomorrow's pizza night. I'll send you the fresh pictures,
Yeah, I
but
got to see pictures.
I'm slaying it.
What are you doing? A margarita? You're doing a margarita?
And I do this. So no, I do like 5 cheeses on it. I do a turkey pepperoni instead of regular pepperoni, banana peppers, and then
Oh,
I drizzle hot honey on it after when it's all done. I do a hot honey.
hot honey is so trendy. So
Yeah.
good though.
And then well, I've had this hot honey for like a decade. And then I will do hand cut. I'll hand I forget what it's called when it's like the little ribbons, and then I'll put basil on it. And then I do another one
How about
with
some jalapenos on there? You got to put some.
no, we use banana peppers. The
Okay.
jalapenos, again, I love heat, but if I'm making a pizza, I don't want it to be a jalapeno pizza, right? Jalapenos take over the pizza. And then I do one with crispy prosciutto and mozzarella.
See, I understand how you got Shannon now. Everything's subtle. Yeah, I'm a little more aggressive than you.
Yeah, I roast my own
Yeah.
bean.
And so
I make my own
I
coffee.
suspect your romance is similar to your cooking, and that's how you captured that lovely beast.
Well, what's funny is the first date we had was actually at the 100 Club on the deck. So she ate like steak and frites. Like that was like her first meal, and drank like 3 bottles of wine. I was like, I'm in love.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't cook for until maybe our 6th or 7th day, like a couple weeks. I didn't cook for her for weeks. But the
Yeah, you
first
were
time she
10
stayed
sick.
over, I did bring her. I used to have a roaster that would roast your beans, green beans, and then immediately grind them and make drip coffee. The
Yeah.
first coffee I ever gave her, she like first time she'd ever slept through the night was here, not here, the other house. And then I put coffee on the nightstand next to her, and when
Oh,
she woke up and she had coffee that had just basically been roasted an hour.
yeah, that was the capstone. That was the seal the
That's a
deal.
close.
Yeah. You're no dummy.
Well, so funny story about her and food. I thought she was like, because she grew up pretty privileged, I guess I would say, compared to me. So I thought she was like this big foodie travel person. So I bring her to this restaurant. The first time we went out to eat outside in Boston, and I bring her, it's like we're like 3 weeks into dating and stuff. And I bring her to this restaurant that I love in Boston. And I don't know. So we have an amazing meal. We go out after, everything's amazing. We stay in the city. And then like 6 months ago. We're like talking about food because everywhere we go, she finds a fucking Michelin starred restaurant. And I'm like, babe, like, what the fuck is up with the Michelin starred restaurant? She's like, you did this to me. I was
Yeah,
like, I go, I did what?
you conditioned her.
She goes, you turned me into a
Yeah,
foodie. She's like, I was like a Texas Roadhouse girl before I met you. She goes, and then you brought me to this place called L'Espalier, which closed down in Boston. It was in the Mandarin Hotel. And she goes, that dinner, like 3 weeks into dating at L'Espalier, changed what I knew food was capable of. She goes, so this animal that you're complaining about, she goes, it's your fault.
yeah. And so you've changed her from a Texas Roadhouse girl to a pristine food appreciator. And the only rule I would have is wear your boots in both environments because they're smoking hot. The cowboy boots.
My boots are in my bedroom.
Not your boots, her boots. She has to continue to wear boots.
She's doing just fine. So whenever we go somewhere and she enjoys the food, I learn how to make it here and ruin it so we can never go have it again.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, tell her, send my love, would you?
I will. What do you? What are we wrapping up the podcast?
No, I
You
just wanted to
wanna
get that in. I
I
just
mean,
wanted to get it in.
we're gonna have to do another one because this went nowhere where I thought it was gonna go.
Well, we could do another one. I
I
thought
thought we were
that's
gonna
what we could.
do, you know,
Rich thought we were going to talk about your time running. So yeah, that's the other part is that you started on the
Playboy.
brand
You didn't
side
talk
running
about
Playboy.
Well, we
Playboy.
could
Early
talk about
days of
that's
demand.
where Crumpets comes in. I
Wait,
thought
that's
we
where
decided
Crumpet.
that. Yeah,
Wait,
we have Act 2, Part 2, Crumpets.
We need some heft stories. I mean,
I
there's a
can give you
lot
all
of things we
those.
didn't touch.
so
Yeah,
how long did you work at Playboy?
9 years. I
Yeah, a
I
long
went
time.
I made a commitment. I don't stay anywhere more than 7 to 9 years just because I'm usually done, and then I change industries altogether.
So what years
I
were
always
you
would
at
say they're
Playboy?
either sick of me or I'm done or it starts to get
How
boring to
long
me,
have you
right?
been at Guaranteed Rate?
13 years.
How long were you at Playboy? And what? So
9
nine. But
years.
what years were you at Playboy?
2002 oh, wait, no, 2002 to 2012.
So the first decade of the millennium. So what was your role when you started there?
I was
Fluffer.
EVP.
He was a fluffer.
Yeah, I was a fluffer. I started off as a fluffer, but I did that so well. It was like being in the mailroom, and I did that super well. And I graduated I started off as EVP of online, and
That's how you started?
yeah, and they had
Basically,
lost $100
that
million.
was literally just when online was taking off, right after the dot-com explosion.
Well, they had lost $100 million in trying to get it profitable. We came in, and the president and myself, and we fixed it in 3 months and started to make money right away. It was just fuck. As
Well, somebody
Rich would
was
say,
definitely stealing from them if they went through that much money trying to get
yeah,
profit.
yeah. As Rich would say, it's fuckus. All we had to do is focus on what people wanted,
You have to fuck
and that was
the problem.
focus. So all we did was focus on how to monetize the traffic, and it was relatively easy. And then then I became president of that, and then I became COO of the company, and eventually I took over the magazine. They asked me to look at the magazine, and
Wait, you
we
were the COO of Playboy?
I was.
Work directly for Hef and Christie, right?
Well, actually, the weird thing, and Half technically reported to me. He didn't, but the magazine reported when I was COO. I took over entertainment and the magazine and online. So, and Half was at the magazine. Of course, he was the founder, and he was such an really interesting guy. I didn't know him as well as I would have liked because I got to know him later in my career there, but we hit it off. We hit it off. I really the only thing I regret of my relationship with Half was I allowed people to use his name in vain, like say Half wants X instead of just asking Half what he wanted. Because he was a perfectionist. He was brilliant. If you're going to look at top 100 business icons in the last 100 years, he's got to be in there. I mean, he really had a vision for doing something different, and I appreciate it. I had to read a lot on it to understand it, and then I got to know him and talk to him about it, and he was pretty cool.
Why did you leave Playboy?
I outsourced one of my when they first asked me to look at the magazine, I looked at the costs, and the magazine used to be the cash cow because advertising. And then the advertising market with the internet was going away. And it was such a high quality product. Everything from the authors to the paper we used to, any of the celebrities that we had in it. It became a lot, was started to become a lost leader. And when I looked at it, we looked at who we could outsource it to, at least the production of it, not the content, who did this on it with scale. So we looked at AMI, actually David Pecker from AMI, and and then I did that, and then we looked at doing it with the online, and we went to MindGeek out of Canada, and we outsourced that. So it's hard to move a company, and that took 23 months to get that deal done, and another 5 months to transition it. And so they were producing. We still had rights over the content. We basically licensed the content. We basically became a licensing company. So if you're a licensing company, you really don't have anything to operate. So if you're a COO, what are you going to do? So they wanted me to go do business development around the world and move to LA and Hollywood. I didn't want to raise kids in Hollywood, and I certainly didn't want to travel around the world with the Playboy name behind me because I wouldn't have been able to keep my family, at least my marriage, and I valued that. So I would have probably been in any bed that would have me anywhere around the world, and that wasn't what I looked at as a successful life.
Well,
Yeah.
I appreciate everyone joining us today, and now we're going to.
So there's so many stories on that
A
on the
lot of
Playboy journey.
stories.
No,
Yeah.
I think that's neat. I didn't realize you were there that long or had that level of influence on him during, quite frankly, the birthing years of the internet that
It
we
was
know
crazy.
Well,
today.
you got to
And
tell them what you did before that, because you were, opt in, opt out, all the stuff you're doing
well,
before
yeah,
that.
we invented I hate to say this, we invented spam. And because we did the
Yeah,
first
that does not surprise me coming out of your mouth.
well, we did. We did the first permission based. We took our company public called Yes Mail. I became COO there. I started off in account management and leading account management, but we were the first ones to do permission-based email. And when I say we invented spam, when somebody saw our model, they said, "Oh shoot, we can just steal databases, take our servers off, out of the country, and start sending email aggressively to all these names." We did it on a permission basis. We paid for the names. We paid for the use of their names. We took the company public. CMGI bought us. So many fun stories. David Weatherall. I mean, I could tell you some hilarious stories about, that was the go internet days. And then I go in the Playboy and the online world, and then I got introduced to porn, the porn hubs. I was around when all the hubs came along, and the thumbnails and and really paying for content online or not paying for content online. And all that history is embedded in my DNA now as we try to put a positive dent in the universe. And so there's a history there that we probably that's why we call it crumpets.
All right, we're gonna have to come back to that one because I feel like we're just getting started, and
Just right.
I
Rich
actually
Rich was at the mansion. Rich went to an unbelievable party, and he was beside
We'll have to
himself. And
leave that as a teaser for another time, because that's
yeah, he was.
I can promise you, had I been in the presence of anything in that industry back during that period of my life.
Yeah. See, I'm almost asexual, so I could look at it as a product. It was like it was everyone else would get caught up in the lifestyle. I didn't. I never watched porn before I started. Believe it or not, when I got invited to interview at Playboy, I had never seen an adult site. I've seen Playboy magazine, but I wasn't an avid reader, or I wasn't beaten off to it and everything else. I just it was a new world to me, but to me it was just the internet. Internet was going in a product, and I thought a responsible product. I thought, I think porn has its place in the world, and there's really dark sides to it, but the dark side is there. There's dark sides in every business. I liked it because it was out there, and you had to be confident in yourself and what you stood for and how you ran businesses, or you could get caught up in the dark side. And I chose not to get caught up in the dark side. I chose to run a really good business.
Love that.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get you. Will you come back on? Can we do another one of these and get
Yeah.
into
I think we should. Yeah.
your early
Yeah.
history?
Can we do more food too?
Yeah. Why don't we plan on No,
Yeah.
I think no, I'll do the intro that way. I'll do this welcome to another episode of Tea and Crumpet with Rich.
Yeah, that's great.
And I think we should start off with food and
Yeah.
then interweave in your early internet experiences and exposure, because I think the advent of email, the transition of Playboy to an online brand, which is essentially what happened in the first decade of the millennium. At the end,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's really what happened. To I mean, porn's kind of gone the extreme opposite end. But those are not things that I ever like. I don't own any magazines. I never bought them. I
Yeah.
never, you couldn't go back 15 years in my history and find any naked photos that weren't sent to me. So by young Asian women that seem to find my number, but
Yeah, they figured
please
out.
tell me I'm the only one.
Yeah,
I'm not the only one. Tell me I'm not the only one.
you're not the only one.
Yeah. But dude, I loved having you on. We got to
Yeah.
get you back on here and get back into the details. Anytime you want to come up with a recipe. So we're going to start with Penne Alla Vodka.
Yeah. Our versions. And that's part of the contest. You're
What
bringing
is it?
your interpretation.
Yeah, because you do it there. So I do a healthier version, but I still
Yeah, well,
stay true to the core ingredients.
yeah, you do what you do, I do what I do, and we have people taste it and see what they like better.
No, I don't think we have to see if they like it better. I think that it's like going on trips and having friends. Some friends are your Friday friends and some friends are your
Well, that's
Monday
true.
friends, and they can still all be your friends.
That's true.
So I would say, let's see if we can be friends.
Well, let's how about friends?
And we should film it. Actually, if you guys come to the house, I'll have somebody actually
Yeah,
filming
we
this,
should
and we'll
film
do
it. Would be awesome. I have a whole film crew. If you come to Chicago, we can bring them out. I mean, I have a whole production studio.
We need
Don't
a
you have a
big
big badass
kitchen.
kitchen at
If
home?
you've got
Yeah, I do have a kit. I have a great
if you
kitchen at
have
home.
3 people cooking now, you need some space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we could cook in my kitchen and
Yeah,
like
I have
Burt
6
Kreischer
burners.
style. Well, you've seen my kitchen. I haven't seen
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah, I'll send you pictures.
Let's figure it out. But we should do that and film it and put that on and do some live casting at the same
That would
time.
be
Yeah,
fair.
music, get some music going and some,
Well, everyone's heard of the food, but very few people that I'm close with have actually, like, I don't cook for a lot of people.
Yeah,
So,
no.
but
Yeah,
it gets talked about quite
It
a
could
bit.
be part
So,
of the series. We'll start with the
that's for sure.
pasta, and then we'll go
yeah.
from there.
This week on Tea
Yes.
with Crumpets.
Yes. And I'll be like a occasional guest.
I like that, actually.
We'll make it
We'll
fun.
have to get some aprons for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll wear an apron. I'll wear an apron with nothing else.
No,
I'll wear the apron from the Culinary Masters event that I won last year.
I was cooking something this morning, and my nephew came down, and he's like, came up the stairs. He goes, "You're nude, aren't you?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm nude." And he's like, "Hey, do you always cook nude like that?" I go, "If I'm home, I don't, no big deal."
that's
So
a
that was
problem.
nude.
I don't think I could
Yeah.
eat anything you've made if you
Well,
made
that's why you have the apron. That's why you have the apron. All right. I love you guys. Keep
Do
doing
not-
what you do.
Do not hang up yet, okay?
Yeah.
For anyone actually still paying attention, damn, thank you.